it will give 1,728,000, which is the duration of the first age, called Krita Yuga. If the same number be multiplied by 60, it will give 1,296,000, the years of the second age, Treta Yuga. The same number multiplied by 40 gives 864,000, the length of the third age, Dvapara Yuga. The same multiplied by 20 gives 432,000, the fourth age, Kali Yuga. It will be noted that these multipliers decrease in inverse ratio to the Pythagorean tetracties 1, 2, 3, and 4. H. P. Blavatsky declares that Orpheus taught his followers how to affect a whole audience by means of a lodestone, and that Pythagoras paid particular attention to the color and nature of precious stones. She adds, the Buddhists assert that the sapphire produces peace of mind, equanimity, and chases all evil thoughts by establishing a healthy circulation in man. So does an electric battery, with its well-directed fluid, say our electricians. The sapphire, say the Buddhists, will open barred doors and dwellings for the spirit of man. It produces a desire for prayer, and brings with it more peace than any other gem. But he who would wear it must lead a pure and holy life. See Isis Unveiled. Mythology abounds with accounts of magical rings and talismanic jewels. In the second book of his Republic, Plato describes a ring which, when the collet was turned inward, rendered its wearer invisible. With this Gyges, the shepherd, secured for himself the throne of Lydia. Josephus also describes magical rings designed by Moses and King Solomon, and Aristotle mentions one which brought love and honor to its possessor. In his chapter dealing with the subject, Henry Cornelius Agrippa not only mentions the same rings, but states, upon the authority of Philostratus Jarchus, that Apollonius of Tyana extended his life to over 20 years with the aid of 7 magical rings presented to him by an East Indian prince. Each of these 7 rings was set with a gem partaking of the nature of one of the 7 ruling planets of the week, and by daily changing the rings Apollonius protected himself against sickness and death by the intervention of the planetary influences. The philosopher also instructed his disciples in the virtues of these talismanic jewels, considering such information to be indispensable to the Buddhist. Agrippa describes the preparation of magical rings as follows: when any star planet ascends fortunately, with a fortunate aspect or conjunction of the moon, we must take a stone and herb that is under that star, and make a ring of the metal that is suitable to this star, and in it fasten the stone, putting the herb or root under it, not omitting the inscriptions of images, names, and characters, as also the proper suffumigations. See 3 books of occult philosophy. The ring has long been regarded as the symbol of attainment, perfection, and immortality, the last because the circlet of precious metal had neither beginning nor end. In the mysteries, rings chased to resemble a serpent with its tail in its mouth were worn by the initiates as material evidence of the position reached by them in the order. Signet rings, engraved with certain secret emblems, were worn by the Hierophants, and it was not uncommon for a messenger to prove that he was the official representative of a prince or other dignitary by bringing with his message either an impression from his master's ring or the signet itself. The wedding ring originally was intended to imply that in the nature of the one who wore it the state of equilibrium and completion had been attained. This plain band of gold therefore bore witness of the union of the higher self-God with the lower self-nature, and the ceremony consummating this indissoluble blending of divinity and humanity in the one nature of the initiated mystic constituted the hermetic marriage of the mysteries. In describing the regalia of a magician, Eliphas Levi declares that on Sunday, the day of the sun, he should carry in his right hand a golden wand, set with a ruby or chrysolite. On Monday, the day of the moon, he should wear a collar of 3 strands consisting of pearls, crystals, and selenites. On Tuesday, the day of Mars, he should carry a wand of magnetized steel and a ring of the same metal set with an amethyst. On Wednesday, the day of Mercury, he should wear a necklace of pearls or glass beads containing mercury, and a ring set with an agate. On Thursday, the day of Jupiter, he should carry a wand of glass or resin and wear a ring set with an emerald or a sapphire. On Friday, the day of Venus, he should carry a wand of polished copper and wear a ring set with a turquoise and a crown or diadem decorated with lapis lazuli and beryl. And on Saturday, the day of Saturn, he should carry a wand ornamented with onyx stone and wear a ring set with onyx and a chain about the neck formed of lead. See the magical ritual of the Sanctum Regnum. Paracelsus, Agrippa, Kircher, Lilly, and numerous other magicians and astrologers have tabulated the gems and stones corresponding to the various planets and zodiacal signs. The following list has been compiled from their writings. To the Sun is assigned the carbuncle, ruby, garnet, especially the pyrope, and other fiery stones, sometimes the diamond. To the Moon, the pearl, selenite, and other forms of crystal. To Saturn, the onyx, jasper, topaz, and sometimes the lapis lazuli. To Jupiter, the sapphire, emerald, and marble. To Mars, the amethyst, hyacinth, lodestone, sometimes the diamond. To Venus, the turquoise, beryl, emerald, and sometimes the pearl, alabaster, coral, and carnelian. To Mercury, the chrysolite, agate, and variegated marble. To the zodiac, the same authorities assigned the following gems and stones: to Aries, the sardonyx, bloodstone, amethyst, and diamond. To Taurus, the carnelian, turquoise, hyacinth, sapphire, moss agate, and emerald. To Gemini, the topaz, agate, chrysoprase, crystal, and aquamarine. To Cancer, the topaz, chalcedony, black onyx, moonstone, pearl, cat's eye, crystal, and sometimes the emerald. To Leo, the jasper, sardonyx, beryl, ruby, chrysolite, amber, tourmaline, sometimes the diamond. To Virgo, the emerald, chameleon, jade, chrysolite, and sometimes the pink jasper and hyacinth. To Libra, the beryl, sardius, coral, lapis lazuli, opal, and sometimes the diamond. To Scorpio, the amethyst, beryl, sardonyx, aquamarine, carbuncle, lodestone, topaz, and malachite. To Sagittarius, dihyacinth, topaz, chrysolite, emerald, carbuncle, and turquoise. To Capricorn, the chrysoprase, ruby, malachite, black onyx, white onyx, jet, and moonstone. To Aquarius, the crystal, sapphire, garnet, zircon, and opal. To Pisces, the sapphire, jasper, chrysolite, moonstone, and amethyst. Both the magic mirror and the crystal ball are symbols little understood. Woe to that benighted mortal who accepts literally the stories circulated concerning them. He will discover, often at the cost of sanity and health, that sorcery and philosophy, while often confused, have nothing in common. The Persian magi carried mirrors as an emblem of the material sphere which reflects divinity from its every part. The crystal ball, long misused as a medium for the cultivation of psychical powers, is a threefold symbol. 1. It signifies the crystalline universal egg in whose transparent depths creation exists. 2. It is a proper figure of deity previous to its immersion in matter. 3. It signifies the heric sphere of the world in whose translucent essences is impressed and preserved the perfect image of all terrestrial activity. Meteors, or rocks from heaven, were considered tokens of divine favor and enshrined as evidence of a pact between the gods and the community in which they fell. Curiously marked or chipped natural stones are occasionally found. In China there is a slab of marble the grain of which forms a perfect likeness of the Chinese dragon. The Abramergai stone, chipped by nature into a close resemblance to the popular conception of the face of Christ, is so remarkable that even the crowned heads of Europe requested the privilege of beholding it. Stones of such nature were held in the highest esteem among primitive peoples and even today exert a wide influence upon the religiously minded. Insert. The Pythagorean signet ring. From Cartares and Magini degli Anici. The number 5 was peculiarly associated by the Pythagoreans with the art of healing, and the pentagram, or five-pointed star, was to them the symbol of health. The above figure represents a magical ring set with a talismanic gem bearing the pentalpha, or star formed by 5 different positions of the Greek alpha. On this subject Mackey writes, the disciples of Pythagoras, who were indeed its real inventors, placed within each of its interior angles one of the letters of the Greek word or the Latin one cellus, both of which signify health. And thus it was made the talisman of health. They placed it at the beginning of their epistles as a greeting to invoke a secure health to their correspondent. But its use was not confined to the disciples of Pythagoras. As a talisman, it was employed all over the East as a charm to resist evil spirits. Continued. Ceremonial magic and sorcery. Ceremonial magic is the ancient art of invoking and controlling spirits by a scientific